since the rally began, Vatanen had only twice failed to be among the fastest four on a stage. Apart from that, he was as steady and consistent as you like and was bringing the legacy home for a strong finish. Just one mistake from one of the trio fighting over victory would put Vatanen on the podium. And the way Auriol, Kankkunen and Alain were carrying on, that mistake looked more like a certainty with each passing stage. Miki Biazion was doing what Ford hired him to do, keeping the car in the rally and on the leaderboard while bringing his enormous experience to bear on getting it sorted. After a somewhat painful beginning to the season, the plan has begun paying off, and it's no longer a surprise to see a Sierra finish in the top 5. Indeed, it's now a regular occurrence. The second Legacy was still a wreck. It looks more like a convertible than a saloon, said McRae, and he should know because he converted it. After a practice accident which had destroyed everything in front of the windscreen, McRae had now smashed everything behind it and the team had considered retirement. But he'd entered into Finnish legend and was the major spectator attraction of the rally, his appearance at each stage greeted by rapturous applause. And after SS30, the applause turned to cheers. In SS29, deafened by the wind howling through the cockpit, he misheard the pace notes and took a fourth gear crest flat in sixth with entirely predictable results. He hit a tree 10 feet off the ground. It was only a small one, he said later, and lost 3 minutes dragging the car out of the stage on 3 wheels. Now, the only bits undamaged were one headlight and the front wheels. Everything else appeared to be scrap. On the last day, the weather forecast was for the torrential rain to persist with a 30% chance of thunderstorms. There was no wind, a low cloud base, dirty weather. Team orders were always a feature of Lancia rallying in the past, and now the team which in the 80s virtually invented championship-winning tactics and wrote the book on rally strategy issued another edict: no overtaking. The tension was defused and the outcome settled at the end of SS34. Kankkunen was now resigned to being second, but consistent second places do win championships, as he knows very well, and perhaps that's no consolation for not winning your home event again. On SS34, a long 20-mile stage, Marco Alain lost a lot of time. The tyres went off long before the end, and Alain was not happy about it. He's a fighter and still had been entertaining hopes of getting among the deltas, but this one stage was conclusive enough to give Lancia a margin wide enough to issue those team instructions. Ari Vatanen was around 30 seconds down on the Toyota, about the cost of his only 2 slow stages. Other than that, he and the car had been perfect. There was no sign of the engine problems which had decimated the Legacies in New Zealand, and the team were doubtless counting the visit to Finland as a success, and perhaps as a good omen for their trip to round 10 in Australia.